Hi gems, it's your girl Ambra here and welcome back to my channel. As you have identified in the title of this video, we are going to be talking about none other than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture Palette. You guys, if you're following me on my social channels, you know that I made this purchase as soon as it launched on the website. But it's taking me some time to do a review and get a video up for you guys. But nonetheless, we are here today. We all know the drama that was built around this palette with the heavily pigmented shades having quite a bit of fallout, blendability, etc., etc. You guys have seen it all over the place. Some love it, some don't. I am here to give my honest opinion, how I feel about the product. Anastasia don't pay my bills. She ain't laying next to me in my bed. She ain't loving me for eternity, forever, never, amen, okay? So I gain nothing by my opinion other than the trust and integrity that you guys have in me to review a product. You do know that I have my favorites when it comes to Anastasia Beverly Hills, but then there's also times where I'm not really feeling everything. So if you guys are interested in how this palette worked on not only my skin tone, but I don't even know where I was going with that. But nonetheless, if you guys are interested in this video, keep watching. Alright, gems, we're going to jump right into this look. We're going to go right into our Subculture palette. I really don't know what look I want to accomplish today, but you guys have been asking for a review. I purchased it as soon as it went on sale on Anastasia's website, and I've been holding on to it, and schedule has been so insane that I haven't had an opportunity to get around to filming, so I'm doing so now. For my transition color, I'm going to go in with New Wave. It's kind of like an orangey, like sorbet shade. And here's the thing, I'm not expecting this to show up on my skin super pronounced, but I do like to lay down something that's relatively blendable to my skin tone so that all the other shades can blend properly. I am going in with my normal blending brush from Morphe. It's my M441, and I'm just going to dab a little in there. There is a bit of fallout, I'm not going to lie, you guys, way more than my Renaissance palette, but I'm not digging. I like to tap on the tip of my blending brush and then apply directly to my lid. So as you can see, there's a little bit of showing there, which I am actually quite impressed because I wasn't expecting this shade to give me any kind of love. And as far as an eyeshadow primer, I just use my concealer that I highlight with. I really haven't used much as an eye primer, like a typical run-of-the-market primer. And I'm applying this directly into my crease and then blending upward to really blow it out. Next, I'm going to go in with Fudge, which is, if you guys have been following me for some time, I believe it's the like Shadow Couture palette that Anastasia Beverly Hills came out. Fudge was by far one of the most used, and I've hit pan in that. So I'm excited to see it back in this palette as a backup for me. And I'm just going in with my Sigma E25 blending brush. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like, there's quite a bit of fallout. I mean, they're super powdery, which would make sense for something that's like hella pigmented, right? And there's quite a bit more matte shades in this palette, but I'm trying to be unbiased. I watched the reviews too, so I'm just going to treat this as I would just a normal application. So I'm going with my E25 and I'm applying it just below where I applied New Wave. Yeah, and Fudge for me feels the exact same as my other Fudge. If anything, I feel like it's even more pigmented. I'm just depositing and blending upward. And that's when that New Wave comes in handy. Because even though it doesn't have the most pigment, the most brightest payoff for my lid, it's blending out my Fudge relatively seamlessly, so that there's no harsh lines. And then I can go back into my Morphe M441 and then blend the two together. I don't know, guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm not having a hard time yet. But I'm also like not a makeup artist to the stars. Just a local freelance work. And you guys, the kiddos are back. Summer's officially over. So if you guys hear some crazy noises, the boys are back in town. Because I'm having like inner convulsions right now, I need to use my Morocco. It's just, New Wave is just not doing it for me as far as the transition shade. So I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Morocco. Look, I've already hit pan on this as my backup. And I'm just going to apply that just above. Oh my God, you guys, I need it. I can't. On my lid, I'm going to use the shade Adorn, which is kind of like a bronzy metallic shade. But as you all know, I have hooded lids, so I need a little bit of assistance from my fine friends over at NARS. I'm using their Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Amande, which is a medium dark 3. And I'm going to carve out some space on my lid so that not only will the shadow have something to adhere to, but it won't transfer on my fatty floats right here of my lids. And I'm going in with my MAC 242. I probably have like 10 of these in my arsenal because they do the job. You guys have probably seen me carve out my eyes 100 times, but it's like the only thing that works for a hooded lid so that it doesn't transfer. And I'm going to use the same 242, except I just wiped off any excess concealer. And I'm going to dip right into Adorn. Oh, wow. I mean, you guys see it. It's pretty... I'm using my Morphe E17, and I'm going to dip into Rowdy, which is kind of like an eggplant purple, relatively matte. And I'll apply that just to kind of blend out, but also deepening that outer V. Whoa. Okay, a little bit goes a long way. Got it, tracking. So I'm going to go back in with my E25 that had the fudge and kind of blend her out. Ooh, she dog. So it definitely is not reading purple or like eggplant. It definitely, in my opinion, just made everything black. But you're working with primary colors, so you need to be careful. Okay, lesson learned. And then I'm going to bring it over a little bit to kind of soften the edges of Adorn. Right on that outer V. This is my M441, and then I'm just blending everything together. Okay, for my lower lash line, I want to use Untamed so bad, but I'm a little nervous about how that's going to look, so I'm going to play between Untamed and Access, which is kind of like a, I mean, it's definitely in the green family, but Access is more teal blue, and Untamed is more of like a forest green, like a pastel forest green. But on my lower lash line, I'm going to use my Landscape Green Kohl. This is a chromographic pencil from MAC. And I'm going to lay her outside of my lower lash line because I have a different green that I want to put along the inside the lash line, like along my waterline. And then in my waterline, I'm going to use Minted. Hopefully she showed, yeah, Minted from MAC as well. This is an eye kohl. And excuse my hand, I had a client earlier. Makeup artist problems. I still haven't washed. I mean, I actually did wash my hands. Correction. I did wash my hands, but it's like not trying to budge. And I'm using Minted and a waterline. My favorite pencil brush at the moment is my Morphe E36. And I'm going to go in with Untamed first. Again, so this one had little fallout. Untamed. Nothing's funky there. And I'm going to apply this to my lower lash line. Set that in place. Ooh, I like the way that looks. So typically when you're doing your lower lash line, you mimic what you do on your top lid to kind of soften those edges. But what you won't do is catch me slipping, because if I mix Untamed and New Wave, then I'm going to get a really funky mix of colors. Like those yellow and green just don't mesh well together. So I'm going to go back into my Morocco, my little individual, and I'm just going to soften underneath of Untamed. Same pencil brush, just softening it a little bit. So I'm gonna just go in. I don't have anything on the brush. I don't even have any concealer on the brush. I'm just gonna put that in the inner corner like so. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Mix that to the top. Okay, I'm going to go off camera, put my lashes on, and I will be back. Okay, lashes are on. For my lower lash line, I actually have green mascara. I bought this from MAC when they were doing some type of collaboration. I don't know, girl. But this is in the color, this is Spin and Twist in Dimension. I can't remember the name of it. And my nails are too long to get the sticker off the bottom. But I'm going to prep my lower lashes so that this green really pops with my L'Oreal Voluminous Primer in white. And I'm going to go in with my green mascara. And it's like a hunter green too, which I'm really going to be feeling. Yes. Yeah, it's definitely. All right, now to finish my face. Blush. I'm going to go on my Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio and Berry Adore. And I'm going to use the shade here, which is Desert. Yeah, Desert. 1T. And then I'm going to use my blush brush from Real Techniques. And apply that right below where I would have my highlight. And then for highlight, I'm going to go with my Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter in the shade Bronze. And I'm going to be using, lately, this is my BH Cosmetics 101 brush. I've been really loving it for applying highlight lately. Because I do kind of like this swirling motion. And it just blends into the skin. If you guys can see. For lips today, I'm going to be using my chestnut liner. Plays no games. And then for my lip, I'm going to use Honey, also by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And set my whole face with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Alright, gems, there you have it. So let's talk about it, why don't we? So, Anastasia, I've been a very loyal fan to Anastasia Beverly Hills. One, because I've always found them to be inclusive of women of color. I've always been able to find things that are complementary to my skin type, as well as just my everyday application. I love their lip glosses. You guys, if you're following me on Snapchat, you know I go through like waves where I only use Anastasia lip glosses. Morocco is life. Like I literally have 4 or 5 of those on deck because they're by far, in my opinion, just my favorite transition shade. And unless someone comes out and completely blows them out of the water, like there's no stepping back from that. I found them to be relatively blendable. Like I don't think I worked any harder on this look than I would any other look that I execute with any of their other palettes or any other shadows rather, any other brands. I do find that it's relatively complementary to their Modern Renaissance palette. Do I find some of these shades like not conducive for everyday use? Absolutely. I mean, who's using these primary colors like that? However, if you are a makeup enthusiast, such as myself, if you just love the brand, such as myself, then I would suggest you getting this palette. I love the look that I created. I am like head over heels. I mean, I'm trying to figure out other ways that I can incorporate electric into my life. I love fudge because I've loved fudge since the beginning. However, I did feel that this eggplant rowdy color, which is in the palette, looks very purple. On me, translated black. So that's just something to consider when you're playing with these shades. Someone who's my complexion, I am an NW47 in Studio Fix, and I'm a soft sable in Covergirl. And what's another one for you guys? Makeup Forever, I'm a Y535. New Wave and Edge it's just not for you, sis. Like, I will continue to use New Wave as a transition underneath of Morocco, because I do find that it helps blend it out really, really smoothly. But I mean, like I said, I'm not a celebrity makeup artist. Do I freelance and I am in makeup every day, all day? Absolutely. But for a beginner, it's just about taking your time and learning your own personal technique and applying things that you may see on social media or on YouTube and seeing how you can make this palette work. Bottom line, is it a must-have? Absolutely not. It's just not. It's just not an everyday palette. But if you are a collector of sorts, or you someone who just loves the new releases and you're about that life, then I would say, yeah, go get yourself a palette. Go get yourself a palette. There are makeup artists that I love and respect locally. One of my good girlfriends who I feel like I look up to doesn't care for this palette at all. And I respect that. However, I really enjoyed it. I don't have much else to say about it. It is by personal preference. I use all the shadows from this palette on my face. Morocco is still an Anastasia Beverly Hills shade, so I'm not doing anything, you know, crazy out the box. As far as the lip products, I like the idea of this shade because I'm really into nudes lately, like skin tone, very flush, like super low-key nudes. But the formula, in my opinion, feels very waxy, if that makes any sense. It's definitely not dry like, say, MAC Ruby Woo some iterations ago, but it's very, it just feels waxy. It's not uncomfortable once it's on the lip. I barely feel that it's there. There's no way that I would wear this lipstick without chestnut. I mean, honey, don't play yourself. However, I like the idea of the shade. I do like how it looks with this look because my eyes are where the party is and my lips are a little played down. I probably would go in on any other given day and throw some gloss on top because I'm all about glosses. But I really just wanted to use strictly the Anastasia lipstick. I do have other shades, so I'll see how those colors work on my lip. I like Honey. It's not my favorite nude matte. It just isn't. But you know, she can stay around. She can kick with the girls. She can kick it with the girls. So hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully watching me apply the shadow was beneficial to your decision making. Definitely don't hold me accountable. I'm only here for the love of the art, to be quite honest. I love the packaging. It's so pretty. The shades, I am all about a matte life. I'll continue to play more with this and give some final thoughts, but from a first impression standpoint, this is, in my opinion, an expected Anastasia Beverly Hills quality. But as you can see, this is just what my palette is looking like. No crazy amounts of fallout. I haven't hit pan. I didn't have to dig, but that's just me. You know, I use my blending brush, just the tip of it. So, and I like to build on my color. So that's what she's looking like after one use. I hardly ever use the brushes that come in it, so I take it out because I'll end up dropping it every time I open up the damn palette. So as I mentioned, I hope that this tutorial was helpful in your decision making. I hope you guys enjoyed all the other products that I used. I'll list all the base information on my face below, like my foundation, highlighting, contouring. Didn't want to do that because I really wanted to focus on the eyes and the application of these shadows. But if you guys have any questions, make sure that you mention that in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure that you thumbs up. Feel free to share. As well as those who are not a part of the family, make sure that you subscribe. And until our next video, shine bright.